Hello everyone, welcome to the Abroadcast. I'm your host Hemanya Suri, and today's episode might just change how you view your own potential. So grab your notebooks as we dive into today's episode with a truly inspiring guest. We have with us Shri Durga Shanker Mishra.
Thank you.
Former Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh and ex-Secretary of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Hemanya.
From growing up in a small village in UP to studying in IIT Kanpur and then earning an MBA in Australia to leading India's largest state and shaping urban policies for millions coming from a village and then heading such a large urban sector, sir. Your journey has truly been a testament of ambition, discipline and purpose. We should begin with talking about your early life and how when you went to study in Australia, how did that change your perspectives on learning, culture, leadership and the education sector at large?
Hemanya, I went to Sydney for doing my MBA in 99-2000 for around 14 months. Later I went to The Hague, International Institute for Social Studies. There I did my postgraduate diploma in public policy. I also got opportunity to study in Washington DC on a health leadership program of World Bank Institute. Another opportunity I got in London in Royal Institute of Public Administration on a study for ethical governance. I also had an opportunity for teaching in University of Guelph. It's a university very close to Toronto. So all these opportunities gave me different perspectives and a lot of learning. The very first in Sydney, I was exposed to a new society, a new way of learning. Though I had education from IIT Kanpur, which itself is one of the leading institutes in the country, but there the approach was completely self-dependent. I just narrate you an incident. This was the year 1999 and I didn't have any laptop. So I borrowed a laptop from a friend. Somebody was working in Aptron. One day that laptop stopped working. I took my laptop to the university center. They asked me to deposit $500 and they said that that's like a security, and if it comes within that, they will charge that much and return the rest. If it comes more than that, maybe you will have to pay more. I was getting a scholarship around $1,100 per month. So afford $500 in that was just impossible. I said, okay, I'll come back to you later. I took that laptop to a friend, another friend from IIT Kanpur, and he was settled there. In fact, we have a large fraternity of IITians in almost all important cities. I told him we both have got education from IIT Kanpur. Let's set this laptop right. And we worked for 3-4 hours and we set that right. And for rest of my studies, that was all working well. You have to do everything on your own, whether it is shopping or writing your papers. In fact, I developed good proficiency in writing on computers. Good proficiency is making presentations because we were working in a very professional kind of environment. So complete self-dependence, seeing how systems work, their income tax department, their shopping centers. In fact, my children had joined me, and my daughter was just 8-year-old, my son was 5-year-old. One day we got a checks for $100 each for their cloth, etc. I went to the school, how come my children have got this money? They said everybody who is in the primary education, they get this money at the start of the session so that they can buy clothes and that they don't drop out from the school. So that without even application, there was no application. We have not made any application there. My wife's name was there, my name was there, our address was there. That money has come to us. Something which we are seeing now with the Prime Minister Modi. In the last 11 years, the digital India, a lot of things are happening on its own because of the kind of digital system which was developed. These things I saw in 1999. The way the transport system was working, the society was working, how people do a lot of voluntary work. I used to volunteer myself in the university. In fact, I used to volunteer in IIT itself. IIT also, a lot of volunteering in the IIT. So it is not only the education. I did my MBA. Similarly, when I was in Hague, I had a different kind of, international school. I had an experience learning with, studying with people from different nationalities. There, in fact, the hostel where I was there were 8 rooms in every wing, and the rule was at least 50% will be the women, and all 8 will be different nationalities. So it's like a living with in a hostel where all 8 from different nationalities, 5 of them were women. We had to live together. We were sharing the kitchen. Everybody had their own, washroom and all, but otherwise kitchen was being shared, common space was being shared. So this kind of a learning. Then, from there, when I was in Australia or when I was in Holland or US, we went to various other places as well. I took my family to, say, from there to Ireland, to Sweden, to Norway, to New Zealand, and a lot of how the tourism. Sometimes I felt that our places have got much more potential, many stories to share. Yet because we didn't have that kind of infrastructure, we were not getting so many tourists. Now something which I started happening now, in the last 10-11 years, I find that our tourism is, bubbling with that potential is being realized. In fact, it's a large distance to go. The digital system, for the rental housing, the way, I didn't have to go anywhere to take telephone connection or electricity connection or gas connection. It was all done on phone. My securities were taken, everything on, this is in the next bill, it was adjusted. When I left from Sydney, everything was adjusted in my account. It was all happening automatic. So the digital system, how it has made ease of living. What our Prime Minister says in his public, the ease of living, ease of doing business. That I realized in the year 1999-2000, later in 2007 when I was in Hague or in other systems. We have started doing all that in India now. So I think it was not only by MBA, but beyond MBA, and a lot of learning for my children. For my wife who was working there for government of Queensland. So everybody had a lot of learning.
So like you mentioned that you were able to pick up few things from every city that you visited, and every place that you went, you learned a little lesson that you came back here and then you implemented here. So how can children of today's time develop such a global mindset?
I think we are living in a global village. The concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a very much Sanatan concept. The concept wedded with our Indian ethos. Now that is happening. What is happening today in USA or Canada or in Latin America or in Africa, that directly impacts us. The world has become so small, communication system becomes so simple. The web system or maybe the mobile system has made the world so small. And there is so much of learning in education system, in working style, in everywhere, in our whole lifestyle. The way the climate change has taken the central agenda. We can see what is happening anywhere is impacting us. So people are there to raise their voice. So people have much bigger voices now. So the world is changing, and I think my learning, not only that, a lot of things which I learned, the systemic approach, a lot of things I learned, in my state government, in the central government, I have tried to implement those things. Something which I learned from the developed economy. Now, our target is, the Honorable Prime Minister has kept our target of Viksit Bharat by 2047. How can we become Viksit Bharat 2047 unless and until there is a change in the mindset, change in the transformation of the infrastructure, transformation of ease of living. People have they are such a simple living so that they are able to realize the best of their potential. So all these things, whatever I have learned, I have been trying to implement that, but this is now at an accelerated path right now in our country.
How can you suggest some practical ways that students can develop this and to make the best of the opportunities that they get in their lives? Like how we've seen with you, you've made the best of where you were and you've come back to India and you've shown us that that can be implemented here as well.
I think the best way is to keep your mind open and be learner all the time. Learn the technology, learn the techniques, learn the systems, learn from the societies. Yes, there are a lot of things which also we have to unlearn also. I mean, not necessarily that you have to copy anybody. We see what is the best, how it is working well in that other society. If something is working better elsewhere, how that can be adopted in our own system. And that's what I've tried to see, tried to do. I mean, lot of infrastructure also. I've seen somewhere a good infrastructure. I've tried to copy, but it is not a copy. It is something which will suit our conditions. So I think our youth, if they keep their mind open and they start trying, see, any success start with the very first step you have to take. There is always a fear. What if I fail?
Yes.
What if it doesn't work? Doesn't matter. 100 failures will, one success will compensate for the rest of the failures. So you need to be brave. You need to think of your own strength. How you can convert that strength into further more strength in life.
Yes.
And I think once you are learning, then there is no stopping.
That is true. And you've mentioned that it's okay to fail and it's okay to take that chance. But it's very important to also have a good support system that lets you take those risks and lets you take those chances. So for the parents and educators listening into our podcast today, what can they do to support these children so that they can fearlessly take the risks?
Let me tell you one. I mean, I have a great faith in God, spirituality. I think God has given you certain skills, certain expertise, and He wants you to, keep on working on it.
Yes.
See, I was born in a village, some 30 kilometers away from district Mahu of Uttar Pradesh. It's eastern UP, very backward village. I had my initial education beneath the tree. There was only one room and half veranda where all our class 1 to class 5 was there. That is how I started. I initially class 6 to 7 I had in a village next door, and that was again there was hardly any infrastructure. Nowadays, there is so much of change. That the school is changed, the intermediate college is changed. But then my father met with a boy. When he was a government employee in a class 3. So he met with a boy in the bus, and he found the boy was very smart, good looking. He asked him where he's studying. He says that I'm studying in Birla Vidya Mandir, Nainital. He wanted to know how his parents afford it. The boy said that I am being taught by the government. And that developed curiosity in my father. He learned from that boy everything, how this opportunity was given to him. I was the eldest son. When he came in the night at home, normally I used to eat with him and sleep with him. So that day he asked me, if I send you for studying abroad, outside, would you like to go? I said, why not? And I had that confidence. He said, you will have to write a competition. I said, I will write the competition and do it. See, he got me write the examination. That competition, there was an all India competition by Government of India. That scheme has been dropped now. And in that competition, when there was a state level competition, I stood first in the state. No coaching. It was just because my father used to bring a lot of books to my house. In fact, I remember at the age of 10, I had a library in my village. In the name of my elder aunt. Was no more, and I used to give those books to the villagers so that let everybody study. I used to feel that let everybody study. So I used to study a lot. When it was All India competition there, I stood 5th in the country. This was at the age of 12.
Oh.
And then I went to Vikas Vidyalaya Ranchi, a public school. And let me tell you, this was a turning point in my life. Coming from the village straightway to a public school and becoming the child of the government. I studied from there on, all with the government support, with the scholarship. In fact, my tuition fees, my dress, any travel I used to do, even my parents, my father used to come and drop me, everything was being paid by the government of India. From there I went to IIT Kanpur. The God has been extremely kind. In fact, I cannot take that credit. Yes, I was doing my best, trying to prove my best, but God has been very kind. From there to IIT Kanpur. From IIT Kanpur straight into I.A.S. without any waiting period. So, and without any coaching. Because I was trying to do everything in the best possible manner. In fact, my father told me, that's the learning I had from my father, that if anybody can do it, you can do it. Because everybody has the same faculty, they have 24 hours, they have that same hand, mouth, nose, everything same thing. So just your determination, your commitment, your drive, that will make the difference. And that I took everywhere.
So is that the advice that you would give to the children who face setbacks and feel a little disheartened when they don't get what they set out to achieve?
See, maybe, if you are not able to achieve something which you have set out, maybe God has meant you for something else. Don't feel disheartened. Even I had a lot of failures. I tried in sports. I can play all sports in school. But I was never a good sports person. I never excelled in music or anything. But overall, I was an all-rounder because I participated voluntarily in most of the activities in this school as well as in IIT Kanpur. So there may be failures, but that doesn't mean that you are a failure. You are a failing. You have some other opportunities. In fact, there is a saying in English, man who wins is the man who thinks he can. The first thing you should start with, you have to first think that I am going to be winner. And then you are definitely going to win. Maybe if not in this path, some other path has been charted out for you by the God. So you can take the other path. Just try to see what is best in you.
So when you were going from your journey in India to your journey abroad, and you were going through so many changes because the systems are very different, did you feel that there was one thing that in the study abroad system outside that you would like to implement in India and that you would like to see in the future over here in India?
A lot of things are already happening. Our new education policy of 2020 has made Indian education so much flexible. Now you can do some study, then you can also do some work. You can have various kinds of options. Earlier it was like a straight tightrope movement in your education. You can only do this much. Now there is a lot of flexibility in our higher education, in our even intermediate education. So with this, Indian system is transforming into a new educational regime right now. That doesn't mean that you have to stop getting education from outside. In fact, there are a lot of foreign universities which are working in India. They are offering you courses. There are a lot of universities or colleges in India who offer one course. My son was doing MBA from IIM Raipur. And in his last semester, he was sent to International Institute for Management Endowment in Germany. And 4 months he studied in Germany. He had a lot of other different kind of exposure. So this kind of a program where part of it is in India, part of it outside, that exposure, seeing the new life, seeing the new opportunities, because ultimately this country is going to become developed and developed in the next 2 decades by 2047. Only if everybody starts contributing towards not only economic, infrastructure, social institutions, everywhere.
Yes. You've had a very glorious career where you've held different posts and you've done different things in your life. Was there a defining moment in your life where you knew that you're on the right path and you were certain that this is what you needed to do? And that is something that students can also learn from, that that's how they know that they're on the right path.
Well, I think I've never thought that I'm on the right path or something. I think you have to be best at every moment of time. Let me share with you, whether it was in my village school, yes, I will do my best. That's what I learned from my father, be the excellent all the time. When it came to I.A.S. Ranchi, where I did my schooling, that I was the head boy, school captain. I was the best boy. I mean, overall, there were so many activities which I did in I.A.S. So again, being the best where you are. Went to IIT. IIT, I had not only I passed out with 10.0 CPI, it's a 10.0 out of 10.0. I was the topper of my batch, topper of my department. I was the best all-rounder, the best BTech project. I mean, whatever you can think of, like in my convocation, everywhere, when I went to the 5th time on the stage to take my certificate, the best all-rounder of the batch, I mean, the whole board stood up. Everybody was clapping. My father and mother, my mother was uneducated. My father had education only up to class 7. And they were weeping. I mean, they were seeing that their son is getting this kind of applaud from so many people standing, giving a standing ovation. So, you see, you have to be best in where you are. You don't have to become, even when I went to Sydney, then again I topped in my MBA program, in a postgraduate, because I feel that whatever you are doing in service. See, Prime Minister Modi had a lot of expectations from every secretary. And I tried to be the best as per his expectations, because he is out to make such a big difference to the nation. He is looking for new India. He is looking for Viksit Bharat, a developed India. And for that, everybody has to contribute. So whether it was Swachh Bharat Mission, whether it was Prime Minister I.A.S. Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission, a Smart City Mission, everywhere, every scheme, I try to give my best. I think this approach, rather than thinking of far ahead, you be the best at the time where you are. I think the God will take you to the right place. There will be failings. In fact, I had a lot of negative things where I couldn't succeed. But then I took another path and found out that the success is right there.
What made you feel in those moments? What motivated you in those moments, even when you had a setback, that you felt like you could persevere through?
Self-confidence. Believe in self and believe in the God, the Almighty. Because I feel that He has sent us to this Mother Earth for some purpose. And He will make sure that that purpose will be realized through me. So long I have faith in myself. Let me give an example. When I started working on the Central Vista project, which you are aware now, the new Parliament building.
Yes.
All that new constructions which has happened, the Kartavya Path and all that, there was so much of opposition. In fact, I don't know. I mean, in my country, whatever good work you do, there will be a lot of people who will be coming and opposing it. Why? For some reasons. I don't know. They have their own vested interest. There were 9 different kind of cases in the Supreme Court, in the High Court, in the NGT. We got all of them gathered together in the Supreme Court. We fought that case and we got a success. So much of opposition in the newspapers, in the media, in the social media. If I feel upset and stop working, then the failure is imminent. But I have always felt that, okay, these are the setbacks for the time being, but ultimately the truth will triumph. Ultimately, your own strength, because I had always the confidence that this is something which if the Prime Minister is expecting, and he's a visionary person, he thinks 20 years ahead of, I mean, we just can't think. I mean, when the jam, this Trinity was there, what he's thinking, we see things bit by bit. He thinks in bigger picture. So once he says, I mean, in various conversations, he expected, okay, can this be done? I started thinking, if he's saying, can this be done? Definitely there will be some way. I have to find a way. I have to find a way. Just a matter of time. You have to start looking for it. And I found a way. So I think setbacks should be only a lesson for working in a different way. In fact, Shiv Kheda, a great motivator, he has written many books. He says, winners don't do different things. They do things differently.
Oh, that is such great advice.
Yes.
So, sir, as we know, you've had a glorious tenure in the urban sector and you've held various posts in that sector. What would you advise the young students who are looking to make a career in that sector? What opportunities do they have and how can they make the best of the resources available to them right now?
Hemanya, this is urban sector in India is transforming very fast. See, prior to 2014, we had not taken the potential of the urban sector so well. But now we know, with the policies, programs, schemes and missions which have been run over the last 11 years, that what kind of new opportunity is going to open up. See, India's population, urban population was just around 37 crores in 2011. Currently it is around 47 crores. By 2030 it is going to be around 60 crores. And by 2051 it is going to be 88 crores. We are going to be primarily an urban area. So total urban population today living in India, almost equal number is going to be there in the next 25 years. It's a huge urbanization, the way it is going on. And for that, the Prime Minister Modi had got completely new way of thinking urban, like Swachh Bharat Mission. You have seen the difference urban. Prime Minister I.A.S. Yojana urban, whose 2.0 version has come. Atal Mission for Urban Rejuvenation and Transformation for the infrastructure. National Urban Livelihood Mission for skilling people and providing them the job opportunities, the new opportunities when they come from migrate to the urban area. Or Smart City Mission, getting more from less. Whatever is available potential, from that how you can serve the people in the best possible way. The focus is ease of living, how you can provide a good quality of life to our citizens. So there is a lot of learning. And our cities are transforming. Now there is a huge opportunity in terms of the urban planning, architecture, real estate. Just think of it, we create almost one Chicago every year. That much of construction is going on. The whole material sciences, I mean all that material which is required, the manufacturing. So much of manufacturing of the materials which will go into construction of these things in the real estate. So the whole lot of opportunities are coming up. Now in the real estate, earlier when you think of the real estate prior to 2017, you had a different kind of image. Black money, being not truthful, exploiting and all that. But after the Real Estate Regulation Act came into force in 2017, it's a new regime. Now young students, young creative minds, they are entering into it.
Yes.
I mean, I meet with, when I go at different places, like 2 days back I was in a conference of SOCHM, I find a lot of youth who are into the real estate. The new technology, there was a global housing technology challenge. The new technology, I mean this challenge the Prime Minister Modi launched in 2019 March. Now the new technologies, how you construct things much faster way, more resilient to the disaster, using the local material, even using something which is discarded material. How these things can be used. The whole lot of innovation has come. I mean, I find so much of entrepreneurship has come up from our schemes like Amrut, or how you can save water, how can make sure that the water is used in the best possible way. The smart cities have given way for how we can use technology so that you are able to get the best out of whether it's water or electricity or whatever, health system, education system, how you can make the best use of it. So I think this urban sector is going to offer so much of opportunities to the youth.
That's a great way to use the young minds.
Yes, yes.
And you've also held many state posts. What opportunities are there for our youth in that sector?
I think with the Viksit Bharat 2047 in mind, all the states are transforming in a big way. I had an opportunity, God has given me that opportunity to head a state of Uttar Pradesh whose population is around 24 crores. It's the largest, most populous state of the country. And a whole lot of opportunities are coming. You see, in Uttar Pradesh we had a global investor summit in February 2023. And something to the tune of more than 36 lakh crore MOUs were signed. And when I had the first groundbreaking ceremony in 2024 February, just a year after, where everything is complete, more than 10 lakhs crore projects got grounded. I mean, the way UP is transforming, whether it is infrastructure in terms of expressways or in terms of the highways, in terms of rail infrastructure, civil aviation, airports infrastructure, waterways infrastructure. The whole infrastructure is transforming in a big way. This is offering a big opportunities. Now new education, I mean, there is so much of focus on the new university or education institutions. While I was the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, 43 new private universities were given permissions to open, and out of them 12 started. See, that new university is a opportunities for teaching, opportunities for skilling, opportunities for studying, all these things, and a lot of even the foreign university is coming. And this is not only the story of Uttar Pradesh. Almost all the states under Prime Minister Modi's leadership are transforming that way. You take Maharashtra, you take Madhya Pradesh, you take Rajasthan, you take Haryana, any of the states, southern states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, they are all transforming, and everybody is keeping the target. Like UP is keeping a target of $1 trillion economy. Our Indian economy, now we are the 4th largest economy in the world. We have crossed the mark of $4 trillion economy. Very soon we will be we are going to be $5 trillion economy. We will be the 3rd largest in the world. Our target is by 2047 we will be something close to $40 trillion economy. So this is so much of opportunities are coming up. The youth has to learn the skill and learn any skill. I am not saying this skill or that skill. Any skill, whether you want to go in manufacturing, yes, Make in India is the target. You want to be innovator, Startup India. You want to go into the urban sector, yes, urbanization, real estate, urban planning, different things, manufacturing, education, anywhere. A whole lot of opportunities are getting open up.
India is changing and more space is being created for India's youth to begin their journey here itself and to set up something great for themselves here itself.
Also, they become entrepreneur. Mudra loans. The government is facilitating youth to take loan to get new skills, and then you have your own business. Because every contribution, every individual can contribute towards making India a Viksit Bharat, a developed India.
So, sir, for 1 second, imagine an 18-year-old person approaches you and they're very confused about what to do in their life. They're very anxious about what the future holds for them. What advice would you tell them?
I think nowadays there are many professional ways of adjusting the skills capacity of the individuals. One can approach that and have his own assessment and see what are his best. Otherwise, everybody, at least he or she, will definitely know what is my strength and work on those strengths. Maybe in certain things you are weak. Some certain things you are weak. Can you strengthen those? My advice will be, because nowadays, see, when I was a student, I went to IIT in 1978. Those days, if you don't go to IIT, like you are not a good student. That was the kind of thing. If you don't go to PMT, you are not a good student. But these days, opportunities are galore. Whether you go to IIT or you go to NIT or you go to any other engineering college, a host of private engineering colleges. And why engineering colleges? Medical colleges, nursing colleges, hospitality. There's a whole lot of, even sports. Somebody who was spending more time in sports, they were considered as spoiled students. But nowadays, sports offers you so much of opportunity. All kinds of sports offer so much of opportunities.
Yes.
Travel, tourism, hospitality, even, a whole lot of opportunities are there. So my advice to this student or child will be, just see your strength, and wherever you go, be the best. Give your best. You can be your best only by giving your best. You need to learn all the time. New skills, technology. Today, everything is technology based. See, with the 5G and artificial intelligence coming in, so many of technical IoT and this big data, so much of things. You update yourself on the technical skills. How you can utilize that. Today, innovation is something. Now the Prime Minister Modi has made this country go into innovation, startups. When I was the Chief Secretary, I used to go to IIT Kanpur. I visited a couple of times there. When I was a student of IIT Kanpur, at that time, most of our colleagues will aim to go to US. 80-90% will go to US or to some other countries. But today, I find it so good that students are now getting into startups, new entrepreneurship, new businesses, new solutions, how we can make your life much simpler, and there is a whole lot of opportunity there. So I think just working on yourself, one can do best.
Thank you so much for your invaluable insights, and you've helped map out careers over here today for the youth of India, and you've given them so many ideas, so many new opportunities that are being offered that they can make the best of. And some great advice that you've given us today, that make the best of yourself and make the best with what you have. And that way we can all create the best form of India.
Thank you, Hemanya. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your precious time, sir.